Hello, welcome to our project analysis on the Elta. So I'm Joe together with my partner Jareen. So we are not going to run through the ideas of the architect, but rather share with you the main purpose, what is the possible layout in Elta, and what are the things that you need to take note of and consider, what are the layout that likely will be hot selling, and most importantly, if you are targeting a certain type of layout, how can you prepare yourself? So Elta is located on Clementi Avenue 1, right in between the Clement Canopy and also the Claiborne. So it is also the last plot of land that is on Clementi Avenue 1, and for the main facing, you'll be facing either the school or the expressway facing. So for Clementi lovers, you won't want to miss this unit.
For those who don't understand on what exactly Elta is, it's actually a joint venture between our MCL and CSC's land. If you do not know, MCL and CSC is actually a Band 1 developer, and what does that mean? It's actually an A++ student, right? So in here we could see that Elta actually is 2 tower. We have a 39-story high, total of 501 residential units, sitting at a 144,788,000 square feet of land, right? It's pretty decent size, and TOP is actually the Q1 of 2029. Okay, now let's look at the unit mix and the site plan. So we have a very good unit mix of 1 plus study to 5 bedders. So now let's look at the site plan. If you are wondering what does Elta means, right? Elta actually stands for high and elevated. And our developer actually give you an elevated land. So from the school facing, we're actually 12.2 meters above ground, and the expressway facing is actually 17 meters from the ground. But again, we are also 52 meters away from the expressway. In order to look deeper, right, we always realize that AYE facing or expressway facing, right, are actually priced slightly lower than the unblocked or quieter facing. However, if you look at here, the bigger units are actually placed facing the expressway. Hence, we are guessing that this might be the premium stack. And for those who are looking at the school facing, take note that at the 27 meters high, which is the 10th story, okay, we are actually cleared from the Nanhua High School already.
Let's take a look from, let's say, for units facing the expressway. So this will be the kind of view that you'll be expecting. So for units on the higher floor, you will be enjoying the unblocked sea view. So for the units facing the school, this will be the view that you'll be expecting. So you get to see the Bukit Timah Hill and also our beautiful skyline. So next we have the price projection analysis.
Okay. Now, in order to actually help our buyers, right, to understand Elta pricing, we took a reference from a very recent launch that is from MCL, Nava Grove and Margaret View. But however, okay, why Nava Grove and Margaret View? They are both a high-story development, plus is developed by our same developer MCL. However, we decided to dive into Nava Grove because it's more recent and we can take even a better and accurate results from Nava Grove. So from our findings, right, we actually realized that there was a tier pricing strategy that MCL used to determine what to launch or what prices should be, So let's go into deeper what are actually our findings over here. So for a 2 bedders, right, a per floor jump, they actually only add about 0.5. And what does that mean? It means that every floor, right, you just add 0.5% to it, okay? But after that, as we just now said, there was a tier pricing. So they divided into a low, mid, high, okay, price strategy. So in here, okay, a low, mid, high, there was a 3 times additional premium to it. So on the 7th floor, there was a 1% premium. On the 11th floor, there was actually a 1.5% premium, and at the 17th floor, there was a 2.5 premium. And because in Elta, right, we had a 2 different stack facing, we go into deeper to even to see, right, what was the difference between a non-premium and a premium price. And we found out that there was actually a 4% gap. What about a 3 bedders pricing? Okay, so for a 3 bedder pricing, we also realized, that there was a slight difference. So here, a per floor jump, right, is actually only 0.4, and same, there was a low, mid, high pricing strategy applied to it, and at the same level, there was a 0.8%, 1.3, and 2.5 4% respectively premium on every individual floor after then subsequently they had the same pricing. Okay, so 4-beders in Elta, there's again 2 different facings, so a price gap we were thinking that it might be a 3% based on Nava Grove. Last and not least, the 5-beders. Is there any difference to it? And good news is that it is. Right, there was, if you remember just now, a 4-bedder, there was a difference of 0.4. Hence here, a per floor jump was only a 0.3% difference. And the premium for the 7th, 11th, and the 17th floor, there was also a drop of 0.1% to it. All these things we will later explain to you how we came to our price projections for Elta pricing. So next we go to our floor plan layout.
Okay. So for the Elta, the 1+ study, we have size 506 square feet, only 1 stack. And comparing with pre-harmonization project, this is actually quite a good size. 1 bedroom plus study layout is actually quite straightforward. When you enter the unit, you have your kitchenette, and then on the other side is the study area. So I think for 1 bedroom plus study, most buyers are looking for investment. So later we will go through the kind of rental yield, whether will it be okay to invest in Elta, and what is the return going to be like.
What is the price projection for the 1+ study? So based on Nava Grove analysis, right, we actually use the tiered pricing strategy applied for Elta. So same, what we did was that, there was a per floor jump of 0.5% per level, and we even go deep, right, to find out what was the low, mid, high floor, right? Where was the break-off point and where was the additional premium to it? Hence, we actually put the 14th and 15th floor at the same pricing, 27 and 28th floor was the same pricing. Next, where is the premium jump? Before the same pricing, on the 13th floor, there was actually a premium jump of 1%. 20th floor, there was like a 1.5% premium, and on the 27th floor, there was a 2.5% premium. So, interesting fact is that the top to bottom, right, actually has a difference of 22%. Okay, just remember this. And why are we so particular into numbers for the 1+ study is because majority, right, buying 1+ study is for investment purposes. So next we actually went into the rental, okay, of our nearby neighbor, which is Clavon. Clavon will be a very good reference since it's newer, right? Our floor plan or the size are actually pretty similar. Hence we take it as a very good reference. Right, what is the rental yield that we'll be getting from Clementi, and what sort of return are we looking at? So, based on this, right, the average rental in Clavon for a 1+ study, right, is 3,500, working up to a 4% yield. Where if you look at the resale market now, right, we're actually paying 1.05, okay, for a 1+ study in Clavon. And if we look deeper, right, into the low floor and the high floor transacted in Clavon, okay, so there wasn't a much difference despite the height of the floor is quite significant, right, from a 4th floor to 27th floor, but the rental was actually only about $100 difference only. So based on it, okay, so what are the expected rental yield that we'll be getting from Elta? So assume we don't get any increment at all. Let's take just 3,006 of the lower floor of Clavon, right? Assume a rental of 3,006. Early on, the price projections for the 1-bedder was actually starting from 1.1, okay, and the yield will actually be 3.8, okay. The highest floor, right, will be around 1.3. Example, round out to 1.36. Our yield that we're getting back was actually 3.1%. For our recommendation to invest in a 1+ study in Elta, go as low floor as possible, because even though you invest in a high floor, it doesn't guarantee a higher rental yield.
Okay, so next we have the 2-bed, 1-bath. The size is 614 square feet. So we have 2 types, B1 and B2. So comparing layout wise, they are actually pretty similar. Once you enter from the walkway, you have an enclosable kitchen, and then you have the dining area nicely tucked at the corner here. Same thing for the B1, you have an enclosable kitchen with the dining area tucked at the corner. But one thing we noticed is that for B2, you actually have a stagger layout, which means that the master bedroom and the common bedroom, they are not facing directly to each other. So in that sense, you actually enjoy a bit more privacy. So If our guess is right, there is a possibility that for the 2-bed 1-bath, the B2 might be the premium stack. So buyers buying for investment, you might want to take B1 instead. So next we have the 2-bed premium, which is 2-bed 2-bath. So again, we got two types, B3 and B4. So layout wise, they are very similar, but we noticed that for B4, because of the placement of the DB box and the protruding of the kitchen with a longer walkway, it will actually make you feel that the unit is smaller. Whereas for B3, with a clearer entrance and a shorter walkway, it will make you feel the unit is wider in size, bigger. So we are guessing that B3, for the 2-bed 2-bath, B3 might be the premium stack. So next, lastly, we have the 2-bed plus study. Wow, this is the show flat unit, but the developer is very generous. The size is 807 square feet. So this is actually the size of a 3-bedroom compact in some projects. There are only one stack, 36 units. So the developer is also giving AC for the study area. That is why it can be converted as a 3-bedroom compact. So you can also use it as a storage space. The size is very good, but it's a bit big, I feel. Personally, I feel that it's a bit big. So we feel that this layout might be a sandwich between the 2-bed 2-bath and also the 3-bedroom.
Hence, it might not be very, very well receiving lah. So let's see. Now, let's have the price projection for the 2-bedder. Okay, again a 3-tiered pricing, right? For the 2-bedder, we had predict like or project like a 0.5% jump, okay, for per floor jump. And then the tier, the top, medium, high tier was at the 14th floor, 21st and the 27th floor. Okay, and again the 2-bed, as I said, the 2-bedders, we had two different facing. So there was the AYE versus the school facing, and we felt that the prices gap was should be or could be about 4% difference in prices. And 2-bed 1-bath starting price should be starting from 1.35, and the 2-bed 2-bath could be starting from 1.54. 2-bedders are usually like a lot of people buying more for investment purposes, and hence we are very, very detailed into the numbers, and that's why we did some fun facts, right, for you. So what are the fun facts that we did? Okay, so we actually divided or segregated into 3 categories. One will be, are we getting a higher rental when we buy or invested into a low and high floor, right? If we are having an expressway and non-expressway facing, are we also getting a higher rental? And what about a 2-bed 1-bath and a 2-bed 2-bath? Is my rental higher? Using Cleveland as a reference, okay, a 2-bed 1-bath, right, at the 4th floor, it was rented the same as a unit on the 18th floor. And of course, a AYE and a non-AYE facing, right, in Cleveland, they actually only had, if you can see here, you can actually only realize that there was $100 in difference only. Surprising, right, Joe? Huh?
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, I was also quite shocked when I actually saw this figure,
So which is actually why we want to highlight to buyers that actually the floor level does not play a very important part for rental.
Next, let's look at was there any difference between the 2-bed and the 2-bed premium? So from here, we could see that there was definitely a difference in rental pricing, 4,001 versus 4,006. But when we work out into, even go deeper, right, into like what is the ROI or the ROE, invested return yield. So if let's say, based on our projections, a low floor at a 1.35, right, we are getting a 3.6 yield, and at a high floor, if we are investing in a 1.65 approximately, we are actually getting a much lower yield. It's almost a difference of how many? About 0.6%, yeah. So hence, I think low floor looks more attractive in this event lah. Correct or not? Next, in a highway and a non-highway facing, right? Again, the yield. We can see that there's actually not much difference.
Yeah, not much difference. Whether is it facing the expressway or non-expressway.
Yeah. And again, a 2-bed 1-bath and a 2-bed premium, our yield was actually not too much of a difference. In summary, what are we actually sharing with you over here? Based on our fun facts findings, right, we realized that the 2-bed 1-bath and the 2-bed 2-bath on the ROI has not much of a difference. Hence, we actually handpicked a 2-bed 1-bath as our first choice. Okay, so for our top 3 recommendation, go for the 2-bed 1-bath first. low floor, started by the mid floor, and then go to a 2 bed 2 bath low floor.
So for the 3-bedroom, we have two types, C1 926 square feet and the 3-bedroom premium 1023 square feet. So actually the C1 926 square feet is a very decent size. You have proper 3 bedrooms, but the only one thing you want to take note is that they have a foyer area here. So that one I feel that is a bit of a space wastage, but the good thing is that the kitchen, they give you a window, so that will make your kitchen look bright. And for the bathroom, there is also window. Although we say that the 926 square feet is a good size, but our recommendation is actually the C2 layout dumbbell unit. Okay, why we actually recommend this is because that for this layout, you get an additional study area. So this can be your helper's room also. It can also be used as a store. So only 36 units. So we feel that next time in future, when you want to put it in the resale market, this layout will be quite popular among buyers.
So now what's our price projection for the 3-bedders? For the 3-bedders, right, we actually had a per floor jump difference of 0.4% and the additional premium on the individual high mid floor tier level, there will actually be a drop from the 2-bedders. So assume on the starting price of 2002, our 3-bedders 4th floor actually starts from, oh my, it's actually only like 2 million bro. That's why we find that, right, although the 926 square feet may not be as popular as the 1023 because usually, right, the 3-bedder is more for own stay. However, the attractive price quantum, right, the starting price of the 3-bed of the 926 square feet will capture interest, right, will capture interest as well. And for the 3-bedroom premium, it's only like, wow, if you look from here, right, the differences for like this and this is probably about 220,000 that we are looking here on the 3-bed and the 3-bedder premium. So in terms of it, when we look at the down payment, right, it's actually not too much of a difference. Based on a 25% down payment, we are looking at just a difference of about 10,000, you know. So hence, so we'll find that the 1023 square feet will be highly sought after. Okay, so now let's look at the 4-bedroom layout. So for the 4-bedroom layout, we actually have a total of 4 different kinds. So we have the 4-bedder, a 4-bedder premium, the 4-bedroom dual key, and of course the 4+ study. Right, but let's first look at the 2 smaller size, which is the 4-bedder and the 4-bedroom premium. Okay, so 4-bedder, we had a 1184 versus a 1313 square feet. Now we, in our humble opinion, right, we actually feel that the 1184 square feet layout will actually be more popular, right, compared to the 1313. Because of the smaller size, it means much more affordably for me. From our study, right, we felt that the extra space may not be necessary worth paying more for. So can you explain to me, right, or highlight to me what is the difference with the 1184 and the 1313 sizes?
Okay, if you take a look at the living area, so the size is pretty similar. So I think the extra space actually gone to the longer walkway. You see, as compared to the 4-bedroom, you have a shorter walkway, and of course you have another junior master bath for the 4-bedroom premium. And they also give you a bigger, slightly bigger home shelter as compared to the store that is size of 2.8. So I think this is where the difference of the size is. So which we felt that is it necessary to pay a premium?
For our discussion, we still feel that the 1184 will be more popular. Now let's look at the price projections for our 4-bedders in Elta. Okay, we had a per floor jump of 0.4. Okay, low mid tier pricing strategy. So every additional will be a 0.8, 1.3 and a 2.5% premium respectively, if you can look at here. Our 4-bedder starting price will be 2.6 and a 4-bedroom premium will be at 2.8.
Okay, so next, let's look at 4-bedroom dual key. Usually we won't recommend this layout to our buyers, right? Because it's usually bigger in size, but Elta is a kind of unique because it's, interestingly, the 4-bedroom dual key and the 4-bedroom premium is the same size, 1313 square feet. Because when they are bigger in size, it may not be that well received in the resale market. But however, in Elta, this 4-bedroom dual key makes a lot of sense because the dual entrance comes with a studio and then it comes with a proper 3-bedroom. Okay, so for the studio, it also has a balcony and its own kitchenette, and the developer is also providing microwave for the kitchenette, which is very ideal for people who can afford a 4-bedroom but buying a 3-bedroom. So you can actually consider this 4-bedroom dual key because you can rent out the studio as an extra income. Or for people who wants to stay with their parents, you can also consider this layout because they can actually stay in the studio and you and your family can stay in the 3-bedroom.
To have our own privacy as well, right?
Therefore, in Elta, we have an affordable 4-bedroom dual key. We really have spoiled choices for the 1313 square feet layout. So next, we have the 4-bed plus study. Wow, this size is 1507 square feet. This can be a compact 5-bedroom in some projects. So before we go to the price projection of a 4-bed plus study, let's take a look at the 5-bedroom first. We have come to the 5 bedrooms. Wow, very luxurious in size, 1776 square feet. But do take note, size is good for own stay, but if you want to put in the resale market next time, it may take longer to sell because for Claiborne, their 5-bedroom is only 1690 square feet, and it also comes with a private lift. So because it's smaller in size, so it is more pocket friendly.
Okay, we have come to our price projection for the last 2 layouts. Okay, for the 4 plus study, our lowest floor start from 3.3 and our 5-bedders lowest floor start from 3.9. Okay, so for people who are looking at a 5-bedder but pocket friendly, you may consider the 4 plus study. We have come to an end of our Elta project analysis. Do remember to like and subscribe our channel.
So if you have any question, feel free to contact either one of us.
And see you in our next episode.